Please, 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 please do not call me an expert, despite having 20 years of experience in marketing, in working in and with small businesses. I don't want to be called an expert. Here's why. I don't want to be called an expert despite my vast amount of experience, because I think that there's something in people who call themselves experts that lacks a certain level of curiosity and commitment to continued learning and experimentation. I think this is part of the problem with so much of the online education and online coaching and online courses world, is that there are so many people who are very quick to call themselves an expert and talk about their proven framework because they know that that's how they will get rich. And remember, they're the only people getting rich off these deals half the times. I mean, honestly, there are so many people out there that call themselves experts that I'm pretty sure if you can peek behind the curtain with any semblance of a critical eye, that they're not nearly the experts that they think they are. Or they're an expert in their own experience, which all of us are. All of us are an expert in our own lived experience and what has worked or not worked for us. Now, the problem is translating that to teach it to other people. And lots of people out there who are teaching are not actually experts at doing so. Now, Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher, talked about this a lot. He said that the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. I think that the people in this world who are truly wise, who are truly intelligent, critical thinkers, constantly curious and hungry and wanting to understand themselves and the world around them and their particular areas of knowledge even better, these are the people who are probably going to hesitate to call themselves experts. And on the other hand, the people who are very quick to call themselves experts, you might want to pay a little attention to whether they actually know as much as they say that they do. This is something that I also think goes hand in hand with the ideas around the imposter complex. I remember listening to an episode of the podcast, The Hilarious World of Depression, years ago. The podcast is no longer being produced, but basically they interviewed different artists, celebrities, comedians about dealing with different mental health issues. And there was a particular episode that was all about the imposter complex or imposter syndrome. And what was really interesting is they did a survey of so many super accomplished people, highly accomplished medical doctors and lawyers and people who were successful from all different industries. And the level of imposter feelings amongst these people who were actually very accomplished, to me, says a lot. Often people that really, really know what they're doing still have these feelings of wondering, I don't feel quite as expert as I think I should, which is why I sort of hesitate to call myself an expert, but also hesitate to rely on other people who call themselves experts too quickly. And this is also to say, if you're not an expert yet on whatever it is, whether it's art or business or marketing, know that you're not alone. Know that people who you might look up to and think of as experts who actually do know quite a lot about a particular topic, often the people who know a lot know how much there still is yet to know and know that they don't know everything. I would definitely count myself in with that group. I was doing a presentation earlier today for my day job about different website and SEO, search engine optimization things. And somebody referred to me as an SEO expert. And I think that's what got me thinking about all of this, is because I was like, why do I have this visceral reaction when I hear somebody introduce me as that? Why does it feel super uncomfortable? And when it comes to SEO even, there's been a ton of changes just in the last few weeks and in the last year when it comes to Google's search algorithms. There was a recent leak of a lot of documentation about how Google does their own algorithms, all of this stuff coming out within this industry that then somebody today is calling me an expert in. And I know a lot. I've definitely worked full time in digital marketing for the last decade. I know more than your average bear, but I'm not an expert in the way that I don't know everything, right? I'm going to be the first to tell you if you ask me a question and I'm not sure, I'm going to tell you I'm not sure. And I think that a true expert is willing to say when they're not sure about something, when they don't know, when they need to look up something further. I think a true expert is not going to hesitate to do that. But meanwhile, I think there's so many people on the internet now who, for whatever reason, want to show you how expert they think they are and talk about how nobody else knows what they're doing and talk about their 5-step proven framework to do blah, 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 because they're trying to sell you a thing. You know, even when I'm trying to sell you a thing, I just bristle up. I never want to say, here are your guaranteed results. Like, I can totally promise you this. Because a lot of times those results, especially when it comes to things like marketing, they're based on so many different factors, right? We can do something for your SEO on your website, but you also have to have a strong brand to back that up. And a strong brand includes so many different things. It's not just you tweak this one little thing over here and then everything else is magically fixed. Like, life doesn't work that way. Marketing doesn't work that way. And when it does, it's a fluke and it's often hard to replicate across many different other people's experience. But a lot of these experts on the internet, they're taking their own experience and what worked for them, and often what worked for them over a short period of time, not a long, sustained 20-year business career. They're talking about, oh, I figured this out and it worked for my business and my business blew up. And then they figured out that the fastest, easiest way for them to make more money is to repackage that thing and sell it to you instead of just doing the thing that was working so great for them the first time. What? So yeah, I may know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I still realize there's a lot left that I do not know. And I want to stay curious. I want to keep experimenting because experimentation is how we learn. And when you're experimenting with something, when you're learning, you're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be the expert. You need to be willing to fail. You need to be willing to fall flat on your face sometimes so that you can pick yourself back up, so that you can keep taking that next step forward. It's not about being perfect. Life is too short to try to be perfect. And life is too short for me to try to call myself an expert. I don't wanna. Don't do it. I don't wanna. So that's my goal, is to talk about the real, be as authentic and honest as I can, because I feel like there's a lot of people on the internet these days, and with AI there's even more. A lot of people calling themselves experts, trying to just sell you a thing, not really being fully honest and transparent, and I don't like it. I don't want to be part of it. So hold me accountable. I'm going to try to continue to be honest with y'all. But if you have any questions, thoughts, things you want to learn more about, I have worked in digital marketing full time for the last decade, and then the decade before that, I was running my own handmade creative business. I've worked with so many different businesses and companies and types of endeavors over the years, so I know a lot of things about a lot of things, especially when it comes to marketing, but I don't know everything, and I'm never going to promise you that I do. So let me know what you want to hear next. I'll see you next time.